Hi. Hello, everyone. How are you going? I'm a wee bit tired today. It's been a full-on time, but I wanted to share some news with you guys. Before I get started on sharing my news, I needed to share some updates with you. First of all, I have been reading up a storm, and when I say reading up a storm, I've been card slinging. I've been doing tarot readings behind the scenes, flat out, and I'm almost caught up with my orders. And that's really helped me out a bit. Now, I I've been staying a bit quiet on YouTube of late, mostly because I've had a lot going on. I'm going to show you something. Hold on a second. A beautiful little messy cottage, a tiny home. So this here is my medical folder. I've put my medical folder together. Hi, Julie. How you going? So in this medical folder, I have, and without divulging any personal information, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 summons to the hospital for some pretty invasive testing. I'm going through a cardiac issue. I've been speaking to cardiothoracic surgeons and cardiologists. I had a toe procedure, which is a transesophageal echocardiograph, and I had that last week. It severely damaged my throat, so I wasn't able to actually speak very easily for a couple of days. It's perfectly healed and fine now. It was just more the fact that they put me to sleep and then had to stuff things down my throat. Sounds horrible, mostly because it is horrible. Um, and now I have to do things like MRIs and CT scans and right side heart studies and all sorts of procedures. So I've been trying to catch up on all of my readings, making sure that I clear my roster of readings. And hi, Lightning, how you going? And just trying to be as stress-free as possible because every specialist that I see has said, keep your stress levels down, keep your stress levels down. And so I turned to write because whenever I'm feeling a little bit emotionally distressed or things a bit chaotic, I either reach for my journal, I'll show you my journals, of which I have many. I have many journals, as it turns out. So my big journal is this one here. This is my Hobonichi. And in it, I write my day-to-day, my feelings. Look at this beautiful sticker. This is my best friend's sticker. Oh, look, more medical appointments. And this one here. This one here. And I've got to show you this because if you guys didn't know, I used to live up in Cairns, up in the north of Australia, and there I had a really close group of friends and a coven up there. And one of my best friends has moved down. And that's Erin. That's my friend Erin. And look at this beautiful magical bookmark. I might turn a light on because I feel like the image is a bit grainy. So I was sitting here doing a bit of thinking. I don't know how much that helps, but we will go with that. Anyway, so I sit there and I do all my note taking and I do all of my relaxation. And when I say I art journal, I'm not good, folks. I don't want to say I art journal and give you the impression that I am some incredible artist because I am not. But I do like to sit here and practice. That's my new moon. That was for my new moon. That's done in watercolor. That was my processing the fact that I have a giant hole in my heart. There are my mushrooms and whole face, and I'm practicing drawing an eye and where I've actually been quite productive with my journal. some more journal art stuff, practicing hair, drawing a face and an apple. A glass of wine, that kind of thing, you know. So I sit there and I do a bit of journaling and I listen to an audiobook and I try to relax. I go for walks when I feel up for it, but the problem with my heart, it's making me very, very tired. So I'm going to give you the rundown of what's going on with my heart. I have a 2.8 centimeter hole in my heart. It's an atrial septal defect. I've had it my whole life, but I didn't know that I had it. And now that I look back, it's very obvious that there was something wrong, but because I didn't know to look there, I just didn't think there was too much wrong. I just thought that I was unhealthy, even though I was doing yoga 5 days a week and I was walking 4 days a week and I was going on hikes on the weekend and I was doing lots of swimming. I was quite active. I still felt very unhealthy and I was eating well and doing all of that kind of fun stuff. But isn't it funny how we treat ourselves? If we're not performing to our best standards, our fallback is self-judgment. I could have probably looked at that going, well, why don't I get the same endorphins as other people get when they exercise? Because people are like, you exercise, it makes you feel amazing, you know? Anyways, that's a past life story. But what I have come to do now is I've been doing a lot of writing. And because it can be very time consuming for me to see, it's almost one and I'm exhausted. And I used to be able to go for hours and have really big, full life every day. But now I'm getting more and more tired. I I thought that this was a result of my ADHD. And I went to the doctor and I said, I think I've got some kind of chronic fatigue. As it turns out, it's not that at all. Um, so I've been writing, and I just uploaded my very first Kindle book. So I am now a Kindle author. Yee! I did a thing. That's my thing that I did. I'm a Kindle author. I uploaded a book. Let's see if I can find it for you guys. I don't know if it'll be glary, but I uploaded this book right here. And it is Petition Magic, a comprehensive guide to petition magic for witches. And so it is just under 10,000 words and it's very, very chock full of information. I made this non-poetic. I really just introduce the subject and then go bang, 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 bang. I wanted to make it as information rich as possible without adding any extra nuance. I wanted it to be more of a reference guide and learning material rather than a story that is told with all this nuance and all this flowery prose. While I'm very into that in my own writing style, this one I wanted it. It started off originally as being a chapter of the Coven handbook that I'm slowly but surely putting together for my coven. And so I ended up making it 10,000 words. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, that's a pretty robust chapter to have in a book. And so I thought, well, why don't I turn that into a little ebook? And so I had it professionally edited, and because I'm dyslexic, so I've learnt the hard way that I just have that professionally edited, and I turned it into a Kindle book using software and uploaded it and created the cover and the whole kit and caboodle. So oh, that's great. So, and I know that a lot of people were asking for the guidebook for the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot, and I'm contemplating turning that too into a Kindle book and putting it up there as a Kindle version. I'm not planning on doing any sort of paperback or hard copy of that at all. I'm just focusing on digital content at the moment, and yeah, I just thought that it might make it easier, especially for those people who have purchased the bones of the bone stone and what have you. So, yes, I did a thing. I'm pretty happy with it actually. I I've been doing a lot of sort of perusing as I embark on a bit of a writing year. I dedicated, excuse me, I dedicated this year to writing. And while I'm still doing videos and I'm still doing readings behind the scenes and I'm still looking after my patrons, I dedicated this as I dedicated myself to a writing year. And so I've been doing a lot more writing, a lot more, oh, this is back to front, a lot more writing and a lot more sharing of information. And I've been trying to get into a habit of organizing myself. It's been a fairly tricky time, I've got to say. I ended up finding out that I had a heart condition because I was going to see the doctor about being medicated for my ADHD. And as time goes by, you see it all, don't you? And I realized that my ADHD has actually slowly been affecting my work life, my home life, and my personal life, my relationships, and such for a very long time. And 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 so I decided that I would go down the route of medication. Seeing as when I did my self assessment, and then my formal assessment, and then my second formal assessment, and then my psychiatric assessment, they said, "Oh, you've got it bad. I've got it on a 9." I wasn't just like mildly ADHD, I was like, ADHD! So very, very neurodivergent, and it's incredible, right? It is incredible when you learn something new about yourself. I always thought I always thought that everybody's brain worked like mine in that they had 1,000 thoughts all, like, colliding like this in their mind. So I could be in the middle of doing this and then a thought pops into my head, and then next minute I'll be over there and I'll be baking a cake with this not even finished, but I'll be over there baking a cake. And I realized that I'm very stop-starty at times, and it takes me a while to get back to things. It's been actually quite impressive. Um, where is the bones of the bone stone found? Oh, it's found on Make playing cards. Yes, I don't handle the dispatch of that at all. It is up on Make playing cards. Uh, listening, also stepping out to find. Aw, Tanya. Dylan, hello. Is it morning where you are? If so, good morning. It's just afternoon. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I was going to say morning. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, it's been a time. So because I was going to get assessed for ADHD, they had to do all sorts of tests on me, like ECGs and things like that, because my first medication would have been Ritalin, and and because Ritalin is it's a controlled substance and all of that, and you can't really have it if you've got a heart condition. They listen to your heart. They do a little heart study on you, and that's how I found out that I had what sounded like a murmur to the doctor through a stethoscope, and then I went for uh, ultrasound of my heart, and that's when I knew something was wrong because of the way that the person reacted when they actually saw whatever they saw on the screen. And so from then on, I have been in and out of hospital, in and out of hospital appointments. I know the cardiac appointments nurse by first name basis. It has been a very stressful and difficult time. On top of that, I have 3 children. I have a large property to run. I have 3 puppies. And so literally you've got to see this. My partner wrote that for me. Make time for yourself, because I would sit here stressed, trying to catch up, trying to get ahead, and I was not investing any time or energy into myself, and I was starting to go look gray. My skin was starting to go gray, and my under eye bags were there, and I was looking very, very sickly. Actually, I just needed to go outside, take a couple of deep breaths, stand in the sunshine, eat a piece of fruit, like the whole thing. Like it was just, I was lacking vitality because I was so focused. And I realized because I'm a creative and I'm neurodivergent, I hyper focus. I get hyper focused and then I forget. I forget about time. I forget about food. I forget about responsibilities and obligations. I just forget. It just doesn't exist in my headspace. If I'm doing something and I'm focused, and then God help the person that interrupts me, it is, oh my gosh, it's just the most insane thing. And so I've been doing a lot of self-reflection and self-work. I do things in the morning because I now know that I'm quite insanely neurodivergent. The thing that I do in the morning is I make my bed, which I hate to do. I hate it. I've been doing it for ages now and I hate it. I'm like, oh, bed. But I do it now and it's become second nature. And then I make sure that I get dressed and I put on my shoes. That's a big, big thing for me. I have to put on my shoes. As soon as I put on my shoes, for some reason, that signals to my brain that I am ready for anything. Like if somebody calls and said they need me for that, I'm ready to go. If somebody says, hey, can you pick me up this, I'm ready to go. If I have a last minute thing, I'm ready to go. Like, do you know what I mean? It just, for some reason, it just does something to my brain. So I'm shoes on and all of that kind of business. And then I have a little post-it note wall and I focus on reminders and things like that, all to help me to not hold it all in my brain and get ultra stressed out. Oh, I say I'm ADHD adjacent. Nice, Dylan. Us neurodivergence and artists get very hyper focused. Indeed, we do. Indeed, we do. Self pampering day. Still love Lush. I do still love Lush. Whenever I go away, I now have a bathtub, an outdoor bougie kind of outdoor bathtub, and it's a heated bathtub. So we used wood fire. It's an old cast iron bathtub that we brought back to life and put a deck around, and we get out there and I sit there with my glass of wine. I've got a bougie like bath thing, like aesthetic going on because I want to be able to sit there, have a glass of wine, listen to some music or some meditation. And I usually have a deeply ritual herbal bath. And then on those days that I don't have a herbal bath, I throw a Lush bath bomb in there and I just soak. And then I watch the sky. And I like to have a sort of, because we're in summer now, I can sit in the bath. The bath gets warmer. It doesn't actually get colder. I can sit in the bath for ages and step in at about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night and be sitting there until 10 o'clock at night. The stars, the shooting stars, the whole thing, and just like, ah, it's so nice. It's a little self-care for me. And my face masks and my room sprays. I'm very much into Lush. I do love Lush. Oh, Julie, if the doctor said that if I hadn't found this hole in my heart, this atrial septal defect, that I would have gone into cardiac failure within 6 to 10 years. So it could have been rather intense for me. I have a 2.8 centimeter hole in my heart. The cardiothoracic surgeon says it's the largest that he's personally ever dealt with. And like I'm a study thing. I feel like I'm a medical play thing at the moment because I don't think they've seen, I'm pretty sure and I'm quite certain, mostly because they've said no one here has seen one that big. So I'm now I'm having all these procedures done because they're trying to determine whether or not I have full-blown open heart surgery or if I have a transvenous keyhole procedure. And so they need to get a lot of measurements from my heart. And they need to know that whichever, pathway they approach or they choose, it's going to have a stabilizing effect on my heart because My heart has been this way since I was born. The right side of my heart is now enlarged, and the wall of the heart is weaker. It's pumping obscene amounts of blood into my lungs, so I'm prone to lung infections. And I just thought that I had dodgy lungs, but I've had pneumonia and whooping cough and, all different kinds of bronchial infections so many times in my life. I have a nasty, nasty cough always. I laugh and I cough, and it's incredible. It's an incredible thing. I just thought that I had lung scarring because I've had too much pneumonia in my life. So how are they going to fix it? Oh, so you're just a miracle walking. Yeah, just a bit of a thing. So they are going to fix it. They are going to formally fix it via surgery. It's just that they're trying to determine which of the surgeries to go through. So if they do the transvenous surgery, like the keyhole surgery, they want to make sure that my anatomy supports that and that there's nothing else going on with my heart that they need to address. Otherwise, should there be more than one thing happening with my heart at this moment in time, which is why we're going through all these procedures, then basically I'll have no other option but to go open heart surgery. And open heart surgery can be quite grueling. I'm fairly healthy, and other than the fact that I've got a gaping hole in my heart, but they think that would be the most permanent fix for me, in that they'll open it up, they'll put a patch on, whereas the shunt that they put in, not the shunt, but what do they call it? It's like a little balloon. It's like a grommet that they put into the heart to patch the hole. That only lasts about 15 years. So then I'd have to do the procedure again, and then I'd have to do the procedure again, And so I'd rather go in and have it fixed properly one time and have everything that needs to be done to my heart done in one go, rather than keep going back and having more procedures and more procedures. That would just do my head in. So I'm going to write. That's why I've been writing. That's why I have been sitting here writing, because everything else is exhaustive. I get tired very quickly, and I get flat. I get dizzy, and I have arrhythmia. My heart starts going zzz, and so I'm trying very, very hard not to overexert myself. So I take gentle walks and listen to an audiobook, and as long as my stress doesn't get the better of me, this is what I do. So that is how I ended up publishing a book on Kindle about petitions, and I want to publish more, and I want to write more, and I want to do more of that for the time being, while I am focusing on healing my body and my beautiful little heart that's given me so much in life. And so, my beautiful souls, that is what's been going on with me. I'm also going through this like back end kind of housekeeping on all my digital stuff. Thank you, Witchy Non. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the lovely words, guys. Thank you so much. As you guys know, I'm on Patreon, right? But I don't actually like the Patreon platform. And I'd like to be able to shift from Patreon to my website. And that is something that I'm truly, truly getting more and more focused on. I've been talking about it for the longest time. The reason why I haven't done it already is because it's a big process. And I don't know if I'll be able to import all of my content across. I doubt that I will be. So it means closing down one platform that's been running for years and has so much content on there, and then moving over to another platform and starting again. Part of me likes that. I like a clean slate vibe. Wishing you well. Thank you, Tanya, for your health journey. Julie says, you are here for a reason, and here to have those beautiful children too. I'll be sending healing energies and prayers. Thank you so much, Julie. Why don't you like Patreon? Patreon is very clunky and it costs a lot of money. Patreon takes around $300 out of my pocket every month, and that fluctuates depending on how much content I'm making and how many patrons I have and all of that. And I don't think that they deserve it, considering that they have one of the clunkiest platforms. I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting there typing a blog post or something into Patreon and the whole program just crashes. It has a little hiccup and then it's all gone. And so I can't even use it as a reliable platform. And it lacks so much. And I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that they offer a subpar product and then take a premium for a subpar product. That's how I see it. If they were a really good platform and they did everything right, then that'd be great. Is there anywhere we as your followers can... Oh, I'm not sure right now, Julie, but thank you so much for asking. I don't have any kind of plan in motion for fundraising for any of that. I just know that I'm a bit worried about if I do end up going through open heart surgery. That means I'm going to be out of commission for about 3 months, and that's a little scary since I support my 3 children. Since I financially support my 3 children, I look after my elderly father, my disabled sister. Like, it's just a property that needs maintenance, and like, it's big. I have a beautiful partner in my life. He is just such a beautiful, beautiful spirit, and he's so helpful, but he he's going through his own thing. He suffered a horrific accident well before we met. And he's had somewhere in the vicinity of like 11, 12 surgeries. And it took a toll on his life. So he's not, I don't like him pushing himself too hard. Do you know what I mean? So it's been a bit of a crazy time, but I would really like to focus on memberships on my website. I like the fact that everything will then be under the one roof. I can give my readings through there, any kind of consultation. And that's something that I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking actually about making myself available one-on-one to people who are wanting to either learn tarot or refine their witchcraft practice. And because I'm, fairly experienced in most forms of witchcraft with the special passion of folk magic and spiritism and spirit work and divination, fortune telling. I actually prefer the word fortune telling to divination. I've been converted. I had a conversation with a really good friend of mine, and I love the idea of fortune telling over divination. Fortune as interpreted by a more intelligent mind, that is, fortune as in your pathways, as in the wheel of fortune, which is not about fortune and luck and that. It's your pathways in life. And so I love that. I love the fortune teller. To me, means the interpreter of your pathways, a direction giver and things like that. Wow, that's a lot of weight on your shoulders. I can kind of understand. I care for both my parents. Oh, good on you, Dylan. It's hard, isn't it? My mother's suffering dementia in Brazil. I have no contact with her. She doesn't actually remember who I am. And that's its own turmoil, but because she's in Brazil and I'm in Australia, it's a case of out of sight, out of mind. I can't accept everything at this moment in time. And yeah. Yeah, I love the idea of the term fortune teller. That's how I would consider myself. And so since I've got you here, let me go for a little walk. I've got to grab some things. And I need a drink because I'm thirsty. Oh. Okay. Do you guys remember this one here? I recently did a video about it. I have been working with this oracle. I did a tarot oracle picker card for my patrons on the new moon. And I know I was really, really impressed with it. Like, it's a very sweet deck. Like, the artwork is cute and I appreciate it. But I wouldn't exactly say that it is my cup of tea. Nevertheless, I feel like pulling a card. The work is done. It's time for rest. I release the seeds and trust the spring to come. That might be a little sign for someone there. I just sporadically pull cards. Pathwork video would be amazing. I love a good pathworking. I do it for my coven a lot. Like when we do the what is it called? When we do our Odin reclaiming kind of thing, and that's 9 days of runes. And it's such a process. It's such an intuitive process. And then we do a path working to meet the gods. And it's very witchy. It's very fortune teller. It's very like spirit work. But it's also very personal. I find that the 9-day runic challenge is it's very personal to the self, because the way that we choose our cards are not choosing at all. Like our not cards, but our runes. Our runes present themselves to us, and we identify 3 within our world, in our day to day. It's not something like grab your runes and nah. You don't even have to own a set of runes for this. Ooh. Burdened by circumstance, I heal with courage and stand up to injustice. There's a little something for someone. And I'll pull a third. Hi, Claire. It's been a while since I've hung out with you guys. Oh, we're going to do 2. The gods have told me to. So the first one is every day is a chance for change. I walk into the life I love with grace and ease. A little message for someone. And then we have a subtle change brings profound transformation. My body, mind, and soul resonate with well-being. I really like the messages. So that is 4 cards. Which one spoke to you the loudest? You'll feel it somewhere in your body. Oh, Claire, thank you. Anna and I are working on some new cards for the 2nd edition. That is all I shall say on the matter. The backings of these cards are gorgeous. Check this out. They actually don't match the artwork. I find it very confusing. This is a really, really bougie backing, and then the artwork is very young, fresh, simple, sweet. That is my one criticism. Now, I'm not doing this now, obviously, because I need to have a little rest, but I'm going to be unboxing the Water Temple Oracle. I also have the Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. And then I have 2 decks that were sent to me by Rockpool for unboxing. I've actually got quite a few decks to unbox. Yeah, Dylan. I've been having conversations behind the scenes about it, about the backing, but I've got a couple of decks to unbox, and I want to do that in more video style formats. But yeah, I might just call it today and just say thank you to everyone for your lovely, lovely words, your kind comments, your understanding, and your support. It's been a fairly interesting time, but I am actually in really good spirits. I've had probably 2 to 3 big cries, and that's about it. I'm not really a dwell on things kind of a person. But I am extremely sensitive, and I love the symbolism of it because we're talking about my heart. We're talking about a giant hole in my heart, and the symbolism is not lost on me. And so there's been a lot of conversation over things like that. It's been very symbolic, very fortune-telling, very beautiful, and so I've been trying to sit with it in a really helpful way. Do you miss all the decks before you moved there? If so, which ones? Oh, I can't even tell you which decks. I'm sad that I let go of the Kuan Yin Oracle. I never used that deck, but I thought that it was the most beautiful Oracle deck ever. And I'm constantly on the lookout for the Blue Moon Tarot, which is the Mages Only. I want a few Mages Only decks, and I'm trying to find the most beautiful ones, and the Blue Moon has always been on my list. It's been on my list for about 11 to 12 years. Oh, at least 10. It's been on my list for a really long time. And lately what I've been doing is just pulling apart some of my decks, the decks that I really like. And then I realized I don't actually have that many Mages Only decks. I have the Unsata Tarot, I have the Bahata, which is now a full tarot deck, but at the time that it came to me for review, it was Mages Only, plus some court cards. And that's it. I don't have any other Mages Only decks, so I really need some Mages Only because I keep pulling apart all my decks. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, beautiful people. I have a question to ask because I keep things pop in and out of my head, and healing vibes to you, beautiful. Oh, thank you. Very happy Mondays. I'm like I swing in and out of my passions, right? I love talking about tarot. I love reading tarot. I love collecting tarot. I love teaching tarot. I love tarot, right? But I also love witchcraft. I love it. I love talking about witchcraft. I love teaching witchcraft. I love showing people that it doesn't have to be so hard. I love folk magic because it is so practical and nourishing and places great emphasis on the self and the soul and the soothing of the self and cleansing and grounding and centering, all the good stuff, right? And so I talk about both of these things on my channel, and lately I've been getting people say, "I wish you did more tarot content," and then I get people saying, "I wish you did more witchcraft content." And so I'm kind of split in the middle. Do I need to honestly split up my channel? Do I need to have a witchcraft channel? Do I need to have a tarot channel? Oh, shit. That's all right. I've got to do an appointment change for one of my other um exams. So yeah, I just don't know. Like, is it okay to have everything on the one channel? Like, I love talking about both things. My tarot practice feeds into my witchcraft practice because my tarot practice sometimes feeds into my spirit work practice. My spirit work practice is very much my witch's practice. And so it all it's all rolled in together, and I really like that. I love the ability to be able to toggle in between that. Whereas if I separate content by two different channels and have one witchcraft channel, one tarot channel, then I don't know. I don't know how that would go. I'm not sure. Mm, everything in one. You are multifaceted. Oh, thank you, Savannah. I love your name. It's my daughter's name, my eldest daughter's name. Oh, thanks, guys. Well, you've actually brought a little peace of mind to me today, and I appreciate that. Anyways, I'm absolutely knackered, so I'm going to head off. But I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'm going to do a little bit of meditation now. Oh, I'm one of those people that believe that you can upload any kind of video on your channel because YouTube channel is for you and your audience. Oh, thanks, Dylan. Oh, thank you, Claire. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate your feedback. That really does help. It really, really does help because I get so in my mind about things. But if you have any requests for videos, do let me know. I'm going to put up a post about like a Q&A. It's been a long time since I've done a Q&A, so I might actually do a sit down live Q&A or a pre-recorded Q&A. I'm not sure, but I do like to do a little witchy Q&A. But because I catch up with you guys most often, many people know what's going on in my life, so I'm pretty open. I like to be pretty open so that there's no ambiguity. And yeah, we'll see where we go in future. But I will be in front of the camera again soon. I have lots of moon boxes to unbox and lots of decks to review, and yeah, lots of subjects to talk about. I'm feeling very alive with content at the moment, and that's a beautiful thing. Oh yeah, I can do shadow work ideas. I can do shadow work ideas, actually. I've been talking to a girlfriend of mine about shadow work. Actually, it came up really beautifully in a client reading that I did 2 days ago. This beautiful this need to express. It was like a flower in the throat, like an orange flower in the throat, and the need to express. And yeah, and then we naturally fell into the subject of shadow work. It was beautiful. Mm. Love it. Love it. All right, my beauties, look after yourselves. I will chat with you again soon. And my I did oh my god, my brain today. My brain. Let me see if I can find it. All righty. Now where are you? There we go. There's my petition magic book. It is up on Amazon. I have a review already. I'm so excited. It's such a little book, but I love it so much. I'm so excited by it. And I so want to do more. So keep an eye out for my creative output. All right, beautiful people, look after yourselves. Take care. And I'll chat with you guys again soon. Um, have a chat with me over on Instagram. If you guys enjoy Instagram, then come and talk to me over there because I like to post semi regularly over there. Um, that means easier read. I shall go now. Oh, thank you, Julie. So, yes, I appreciate it. And thank you so much. I will be checking in with you guys again soon, and I'll be giving you some updates on what it is that I'm doing behind the scenes. And I might even do a little bit of a vlog from time to time, especially on a big hospital day. I've got a pretty intense March. So I've got somewhere in the vicinity of 5 appointments across 2 days in the city. So we're staying with my partner's mum, and that way I'm closer to the hospital and I don't have to do the trip. And it is honestly, this has actually broken my heart a little bit. Irony is not lost on me. My baby girl, my youngest, her birthday's on the 24th of March. I will be coming back to the city on the 24th of March. It was the year that she was going to be with me for her birthday, but because I will be going through quite the invasive procedure, I should say, on the 23rd, I need a day of rest before I can come back. And she's an Aries. She is like kapow as far as personality goes. And hey, my B-day is the 23rd. Woohoo! Nice, Dylan. We're coming closer to Aries season. And so it looks like I won't be with her for her birthday start, but I will be with her for the end of her birthday. And that's made me a bit sad. That's honestly made me a bit upset. But aside from that, I will be getting on with it, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't take things so personally. Oh, yeah, okay. And I'm trying very hard not to take things personally at the moment. But it is what it is, and we do the things that we need to do. It's 1 year, and it's this year. This is what's happening this year, but I will still be there for her birthday. I just won't be there to do the usual thing that I do, which is decorate the whole house while she's asleep. And then she wakes up to this like explosion of balloons and streamers and happy birthdays and little presents and stuff. Like I like to go all out for my kids. And and so yeah, it's gonna be a little bit tricky, but we'll see how we go. I'm not super Aries like it might be my Aquarius moon and my Cancer rising. Fair enough. Fair enough. I get it. I get it. All right, my beautiful people, take care. And I will chat to you again soon. Please stay safe, stay healthy, love each other, and remember to fill your cups. Look after yourself. Put yourself first from time to time. Sacred selfishness. Ground, center, and just be beautiful to yourselves. Mwah. Bye.